Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading for April 2014. Maybe something happened in 2014. Actually, this is for 2023. This is going to be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you could certainly have planets in the sign of Aquarius. You may be in love with an Aquarius, platonically or romantically. And if you're here, checking on an Aquarius's energy, understand that your guides know that, and you can certainly receive messages through this reading, even though you're not an Aquarius. So just be open. Just be open. Okay. I feel like I just needed to take a deep breath. All right. So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to use 3 different decks. We're going to use our Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. Today I chose to clarify with the Luminous Tarot, or, I say I chose, but I feel like it chooses me. It knows maybe what you need to know. And then for your main spread, your Tarot spread, we're going to use the Psychic Tarot. Okay? But let's go ahead and get into it. Start with Mother Mary. Give it a couple shuffles. Let's give them a cut. I want to give a shout out to some of my members. I have a membership program. 3 different tiers. Actually, I'm going to turn it into 2 tiers, but one is a thank you, just a simple thank you, Sandy. And then the other one, which I'm really going to combine, is where we go live and I answer all your questions, and we go live once a week, or at least I try to go once a week. So yeah, if you're interested in that, that information's right below. And I've had a lot of people ask me if I do personal readings. I do personal readings. I do them on a limited basis because they're so in-depth, sometimes they're 2 hours. That I can't take a whole lot, you know what I mean? So I do them, and the wait time is usually about 3 weeks, sometimes can be a month, but I try my best to get them to you as soon as I can. Anyway, all that info is below. Okay, you got 3 cards, 2 face up, 1 down. So let's go ahead and begin. We have the inner child. The inner child. I feel like it's, I just get this feeling like, jumping out of the head, jumping out of the thought system and more into my, heart center. Like feeling more childlike in a good way. I feel like childlike just means free. It reminds me of when I was young and I'd get on my bike and I'd just ride away from the house and I felt free. Though I really wasn't, right? But I felt that. So anyways, inner child. I nurture the child within me through playfulness, well, there you go, and self-care. All right, and then we have open your heart, Aquarius. Open your heart. I allow myself to feel the full range of emotions, especially all forms of love. All forms of love. Open your heart. The inner child right now, to me, with open your heart, feels like the Fool's energy, right? Where the Fool is like a child, right? I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a leap. And last but not least, we have boundaries. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations. I feel like when we're very clear, let's say this is talking about something romantic, I'm clear about what I expect. And it doesn't mean that I'm rigid. It just means that, if you're not someone of integrity, then keep on going. You know what I mean? Or if you're someone who wants to flirt with everyone, keep on going. So, setting your boundaries. Okay, and we'll read from the end. We'll read from the book at the end of the reading. Maybe not all three, but probably we'll see. We'll see what comes out in the tarot portion. That'll let me know which one needs to be read. So let's go ahead and begin that. Ooh. Hello, love begins. Chariot. Love begins, and then movement. Chariot's a card of Cancer. Alright, let's give them a cut. Gemini had that. That was their very first card. Love begins. Some of you may be connected to Gemini. Alright. Whoa, okay. I have a feeling this is why I had to take a deep breath. And just kind of relax myself going in, because I feel like your cards are coming out a little chaotic. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But let's see what we have. Well, hello, soulmates. You know how interesting. I was just saying Gemini got Love Begins, which is the Ace of Cups. You have the Two of Cups. This is talking about a soulmate energy. No wonder it's asking you, or Mother Mary is asking you to open your heart to all forms of love. Well, this is a soulmate. Soulmate love. Now, soulmate love can be a best friend. You know what I mean? Can be a child. Can be anyone. And we have, I feel like, many, many, many soulmates. Maybe we're all soulmates, right? But this is different, right? I mean, they have that cup in between them. It's like the Ace of Cups is right there. Two cups. Interesting. Okay, they're all in reverse. We're going to turn them around. Well, actually, they're not all in reverse, so we're going to leave them the way they are. Alright. We have the Eight of Cups. Came in reverse, though. So, let's talk about the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is talking about, I'm just fixing my camera, and actually, let me bring it down a little bit. The Eight of Cups is really asking you to clear your emotional house as much as you can. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just because, again, open your heart. Open your heart, the inner child, right? But it's in reverse. The 8 talks about allowing yourself to have a new beginning. Now, I like the 8 of Cups in reverse. Because, first of all, I feel like, you know, all the love is draining out of those cups. But we have these cups. Whether they be, it could certainly be part of this. And this talks about, again, emotional understanding. Sometimes just letting go. You know, maybe I can't understand what happened, but I can let it go. And I feel like it's what you do. So it's like you are, or let's just say, Divine is asking you to allow yourself to have a new start. We have Passion Ignited. This is the Ace of Wands. It is in reverse. You know, I don't worry too much when an ace comes in reverse, because I feel like it just means maybe I don't feel it yet. But I feel like it's tied to this 8 of Cups. Emotional withdrawal. But you're coming out of that. And I feel like, you know, probably as soon as you come out of that, the Ace of Wands flips itself around. Let's keep going. We have the 6 of Cups. Oh, I'm sorry, we have the Lovers. Called Harmony in this deck. 2 people in harmony. In reverse. We have interesting fulfillment of wishes. This is the 9 of Cups. Coming under the 2 of Cups. And then we have Truth. This is Judgment. But your spiritual team, you know, it's guidance. And by the way, boundaries, truth, feel like they go hand in hand, right? Come to me in truth, in honesty, even my own truth, knowing my own truth. I feel like in a way it sets you free, because the Nine of Cups here is emotional fulfillment. You know, but this is an inner fulfillment. And it's interesting it's coming under the Two of Cups, because it could be like, you know, I don't want to say one of the requirements, but I feel like if I'm going to, let's just say, fall in love, I want to fall in love, right? And I feel like because spiritual union, and it, by the way, it's spiritual union, you know, so potentially a union. And maybe coming to the energy of the Nine of Cups was important, right? And I feel like it's also saying, when you clear that emotional house, and again, you don't have to have a complete understanding, but, you know, letting go of what you can let go of. You know, not all things are going to work out. But I feel like when you're able to do that, boom, the Nine of Cups, like, now I feel light, I feel happy. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean my life is perfect, but I'm starting to feel that way again. Maybe I'm starting to feel, you know what? Maybe there is an actual soulmate out there on this path. Ace of Wands would talk about a new path opening up. It is in reverse, but it's also connected to the Lover. So, you know, I don't feel like this is just any old person. Judgment is calling you to the present moment. And don't forget, 8 is about a new beginning. So I'm not meant to get stuck in the 8 of Cups. I'm meant to, let's say, examine without judgment. I mean, know yourself, for sure. Know your own part. Not to put blame on you. I'm just saying, know, like, you know, what's my reaction within, you know, am I able to give, but am I also able to receive? So, judgment, maybe you take you know, truth, you take a good hard look at that. And I feel like, again, does it set you free? It kind of feels that way. All right, let's keep going. I keep hearing this buzzing at my right ear, and I keep looking over like there's something flying around me, but there's not. All right, we have the Emperor. Card of Aries. And then we have the 8 of Wands. You know, I find it kind of interesting that the 8 of Wands speaks about, well, accelerated motion, right? But I also feel in the 8 of Wands, like, it's not depicted here, but a lot of times you'll see 4 wands going out into the universe and 4 wands coming back. And I feel like that's your intention, right? That's the intention you sent out to the universe. And, you know, it's going to meet that vibration. You know, whatever vibration it was sent out in is what's going to come back. But it's also very fast-moving energy, which can also feel kind of chaotic. Interesting, though, that it's coming under the Lovers. And it's mirrored by the 9 of Cups. 2 8s so far. Talk about 2 new beginnings. I don't know why I went like that. Can talk about 2 new beginnings in your life. Some of you with the Emperor here. Authority. I don't know why. I'm like, ooh. Alright, let's go below this. Let's move these over. You know, the Emperor can certainly stand for, the Emperor is the leader of the people. Can be, right? In the upright, it's normally someone that we would look up to because of their, you know, their actions, because of their experiences. Interesting that the Ace of Wands is in reverse over this Emperor, though. Does he stay or does he go? We have positive movement forward. Positive movement forward. How interesting. It's coming under the soulmates with the Nine of Cups under that. Spiritual union. Fulfillment of wishes. Positive movement forward. I'll take it. Another 8. 3 8s. The waiting game. You know, I don't feel like, you know, sometimes I feel like, yes, we're like, okay, where's our soulmate at? Type of energy. But sometimes I feel like the universe is waiting on us, right? Because let's face it, if we're stuck within emotional withdrawal, it can make it very hard to then have an open heart, right? So sometimes it takes time to clear this because, you know, it is self. 8, I feel like, is talking about self. So you have a lot of power here also because accelerated motion, positive movement forward with these 8s. You know, this is you. I feel like it's you and divine in cahoots. So anyways, the waiting game. Stand your ground. Huh. 7 of Wands coming under this Emperor. You know, it's interesting just the way the Emperor looks. Like his arms are crossed. You know, definitely feels like someone who is not open. Authority. Just the word. I'm not saying this person can't be wise. But they may be unbendable, if that makes sense. Alright, what else do we have? Oh, stand your ground. And let's see if we can get one more out. But I won't refuse what comes out. We have heartache and loss. 3 swords. 3 swords is mirrored this way by the lovers. Lovers in reverse. 3 swords over here, though, is mirrored by positive movement forward. Well, hello. It found its way out. Love begins. How interesting that you have the Ace of Cups on the bottom and then the 2 Cups as your very first card. Now, does that mean that, you know, I feel like there's some energy in between this, like that we've got to figure out. So let's go ahead and figure it out. Everything is already pre-shuffled, by the way, but I like to give it a shuffle with you here. Alright. Alright, let's start at the beginning. Let's see why... Let's just see. Material and spiritual prosperity. I just wanted to look under that. And then the 6 of Cups. Huh. I feel like this is giving me a snapshot of where you were, what you've been through, you know, like, let's just say emotionally, but also the potential of where this can go. We have the Five of Wands. Interesting. Change. The Two Swords. You know, it's interesting. I'm just going to say it. I feel like for some of you, now, not all of you, but I feel for some of you, like, I feel like your father had an influence, let's say, on the deciding of a partner. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't feel like it was a good influence. Now, I'm not trying to put your father down. I'm just saying, I feel like there's something within your father's energy that wasn't really serving him, or maybe your mother type energy, but, you know, as much as I didn't like it, I still potentially brought it forward. I'm saying that because I don't feel like this Five of Wands is a current energy, but I do feel like it has an influence. This can be ego. This can be a lot of battling. You know, this is energy where no one wants to back down. But, like, we get nowhere. If no one backs down, we get nowhere. Keep going. We have the Ten of Wands. Interesting. The Ten of Wands is coming in the upright over the Ace of Wands in reverse. But the Five of Wands is over here, right? So from the 5 to the 10. The Two Swords is in between. Some of you can talk about a current relationship that you're in that, listen, maybe it's not serving you. Maybe you're someone who tends to put, like, all the responsibility on your shoulders. Maybe even asking the question, should I continue? Well, I feel like you got to ask yourself, are you happy? Because you have the potential of being happy. But I often feel the Ten of Wands is also someone who, like, maybe subconsciously just wishes a tower would come in and end it for me. But I can tell you this. This is telling us why the Ace of Wands is in reverse. Again, this can be, it's definitely a time of heavier responsibilities, but I feel like in the Ten of Wands, like, half those responsibilities really didn't belong to me. So, like, I take on everyone's responsibility. You know, it's like this guy's trying to push these wands uphill all at one time. So you may have come here with a question in your mind, you know, do I end something? Whether, you know, it's about so something new can begin, or just to end this type of energy. Alright, just keep going. Look at this. Holy crap. With the Eight of Swords, you know, it's like these clarifiers are giving us the answers as to why these cards are in reverse. So, the Eight of Swords coming over the Lovers. Self-created prison. Blocks. Why? Because I'm afraid to take a chance. Because I don't want to get hurt. You know, one of the biggest protectors is your own vibration. Especially if, like, this Five of Wands, because the Two of Swords, she's got a blindfold on, so there's something she doesn't want to see. And if she doesn't see it, I feel like it goes from the 5 to the 10. Or if I didn't see it, now I'm at the 10. Sometimes we feel like a change, so we have a 5 here, is difficult, which it is. But it feels like, you know, if you do make that change, then there's a 9 of Cups, fulfillment of wishes, but also fulfillment of self. Self-created, so you're the only one who can uncreate it. Oh, we have another card. Don't know when this came out. We have the Four of Wands. You know, I feel like for some of you, being single isn't a bad thing, at least for a period of time. I feel like, because I feel like you had to come back to yourself again. This energy, it's interesting because this energy, if this was all turned around, except for the Eight of Cups, I'm glad it's in reverse. But if the Ace of Wands and the Lovers was turned around, what a beautiful line this would be. But then this is giving us a clear example of why the card's in reverse. I think I already said that, but so Four of Pentacles to me is about your foundation. Four is about a foundation. Interesting, we go from a 5 to a 4. So again, some of you cutting ties to something. Taking a blindfold off. Ace of Swords. Interesting. Coming over the truth. Well, truth. Ace of Swords would certainly represent that. Alright, keep going. The cards are coming out like one by one, and that's okay. Alright, we have the Nine of Wands. How interesting we have. I know I say that all the time, but to me it's very interesting. We go from the Ten of Wands to the Nine of Wands. We go from a 5 to a 4. Even here, we go from a 2 to an Ace. But I feel like that's a good thing. So, Nine of Wands, again, you know, this is someone who's reflecting back. 9 is about reflection. But it is about final reflection. You know, the Nine of Wands tells you that, you know, whatever you've been through, especially the hardships, you've gained a lot from it, and I mean spiritually. Like your spiritual muscles have grown. You know, maybe now, like, only the truth will do. And before, it's just like, you know, maybe I just went by someone's looks, like, oh, you're cute. You know what I mean? And I don't know. But anyways. You know, I've been picking this up a lot for April. This can also signify someone who, listen, there may be a job that you're in where, you know, you're putting in all the work. You're putting in, yeah, all the work. And maybe someone else is taking credit. Maybe someone is pushing you beyond your brink. You know, what's fair. But I feel like if that's the case, you may potentially leave. And I feel like if you do, I do feel like, again, fulfillment of wishes. Positive movement forward. It's almost like I feel like this Emperor is like a bully. And I don't know why. I don't normally read him that way, but I kind of feel that way, especially with stand your ground underneath it. Justice. Card of Libra. Could talk about a divorce. Certainly talks about cutting of some type of ties. Listen, it's coming under the Eight of Swords, so it will only serve you. When Justice comes out, it's talking about making you whole again. What's fair? You know, maybe things have not felt fair. Justice can also talk about karmic cycles. Look at this, the Nine of Cups again. If I can pick it up. Nine of Cups again. coming over, positive movement forward. Let's talk about two people. You know, I find it interesting in a lot of my readings, like soulmates or twin flames. I feel like many times they're doing similar, or they're going through similar type energies, and each of them needing to do their own independent work, you know, and then independently cutting ties to what's not serving them, right? Setting their own boundaries, opening their own heart. And I feel like, and it would make sense. Like, to me, all of a sudden, it was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then, you know, maybe each needs to be single. Some of you, I feel like I'm living in a house with someone where, like, we're living independent of each other anyway. Like, they do their thing, I do my thing. Like, there's no love lost. But do I want to continue living that way? You know, maybe it's fine that way. But I feel like it would be very hard then to introduce a soulmate. Maybe not. But I kind of feel like it would be. All right, let's keep going. Six of Cups. Someone may be waiting for someone else to set themselves free, or for you to set yourself free. Six of Cups can speak about someone from the past. You know, it does have the Ace of Swords, and I know I get comments all the time. People are like, all you do is talk about people from the past. Huh? You know, I don't know what to do about that. Like, I got to read what's in front of me. And the Six of Cups, listen, if nothing else, it's about happy memories, really treasured memories in it. If it is a person, maybe it's a friend, like I said, soulmates. But, hello, love begins, you know. That's kind of hard to put it in a soulmate, or I mean in a friendship way. We have the Ace of Swords in between. Some of you may just get an unexpected phone call. I said phone call, but, you know, I'm old school. Could be a text. Could be on social media. We have the Three of Pentacles. Alright, I feel like we're talking about two things here. Maybe that's why we're seeing these eights, right? We have 3 8s. And then we have a couple 9s also, though. So anyways, what am I holding? The Three of Pentacles. So I feel like we're talking about both love and money. Three of Pentacles, you know, I do feel like there's this restriction upon you, where I just feel like someone didn't appreciate the uniqueness within you, or maybe they appreciated it and then took, you know, the work that you've done and claimed it as their own. But this is also the energy of, listen, I feel like some of you, it may push you into self-employment or into a new job. And that can be hard, right? The change can be hard, but listen, I mean, fulfillment of wishes. Positive movement forward. Everything is telling you that, you know, if you believe in yourself, then I feel like you'll be successful. And in the Three of Pentacles, you know, you're the missing piece of the puzzle. So to me, I feel like if it's work-related, then, like, the right people will show up. This is about other people appreciating you. Now, some may use you, but then there's those who appreciate, see like, you know, that creative side of yourself, or who you are. You know, justice is really standing out to me, because I feel like whether I meet someone again, I know it's a soulmate. I'm just, you know, and I know it's speaking of love. Like, I'm not going to deny that. And then the Ace of Swords, right? How it's coming in. You know, I feel like justice is like really saying, you know, if you cut those ties, I feel like these go away. I feel like someone who's ever coming in, I feel like immediately you're going to feel like you've known each other forever. And maybe you have known each other forever. Well, you have. You're soulmates, so you've known each other eternally. But in this lifetime, maybe you've known each other forever. Look at this. We have the Four of Swords over the Three of Swords. It makes a lot of sense. This is healing that heart. Healing your heart so that you can open it to receive the potential of what wants to come in. Eight of Swords, my heart's not open. So justice says, we'll cut those ties that loosely bound you. Allow yourself to heal. Some of you being single, let's just say, or even if like you're in a relationship, but it's like we're doing our own thing, I feel like, you know, in that period of time, I feel like you've been going through healing. And listen, it doesn't mean you go to bed for 4 months and you heal. It means you're having understanding, right? You're seeing the patterns. You're understanding why the blindfolds are on. So, and then you're learning to trust your own energy above all. Okay, I want to ask, I do kind of feel like, I feel like for some there are like, you know, it's almost like they're mirroring, you guys are mirroring each other, but maybe you don't even know that yet. And I feel like I have to say one more time, I feel like some of you may be carrying energy of, you know, I just want to say your father. But I feel like it's, you know, it doesn't mean your father didn't love you, you didn't love your father, but it's something within, like maybe how they handled a relationship and you did not want to take it forward. But lo and behold, and I know that energy too. Okay, but I'm going to do what I've been doing all month, and I'm going to pick these up. And I want to look at Love Begins with Spiritual Union. And I like to have a little more clarity. So let's pick everything up. Dun, dun, dun. Except for these two. Oh, now the ace. Look at that. The Ace of Pentacles just popped out. Almost like you can't see it, but it's coming. So that's what, 3 aces? Alright, let's use the Gilded Tarot. And let's just kind of find out what's going on here. We're going to kind of surround the cards. And I'm looking for what exactly this means. Love Begins. You know, I do want to say that in the Ace of Cups, if you look at this, like both lovers are helping to pour that cup. And I feel like they're pouring that cup into a river of just love. Right? But they're doing it together. Maybe they don't even know it, right? Because they seem to be on opposite sides. Like, I'm on this side of the world, you're on that side of the world. Or I'm on this side of the state, you're on that side of the state. Okay. One more shuffle. Alright, let's give him a cut. My daughter Jennifer, Jenny Lachero, she's an Aquarius moon, Scorpio sun. Okay. Tell us more, tell us more. You know, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, like, when I do titles, you know, it's like I hate to always make them about love, but dang, love seems to be like the way. No, I do think it's talking about both for you though. I do feel like it's talking about both, because, you know, stand your ground against this emperor, whatever that may mean for you. And then if, like, you know, like you're carrying all the responsibilities within a position, you know, and you're asking yourself, do I want to keep doing this? Well, first of all, I feel like, you know, if you're not thinking about self-employment, start putting resumes out. Like, start already picturing it, seeing it, because I feel like it can happen. It can happen to you. All right, we have the King of Swords. So, certainly be you, male or female. You know, this king would only stand for truth. So again, can be you, Aquarius, can be a Libra, or a Gemini. Don't forget, Gemini had Love Begins. I can't remember if they had the Two Cups, but I do remember that was their first card, because I even titled it that way. Alright, so anyways, with King of Swords, let's keep going. We have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. You know, Six of Pentacles is that fine art of give and take. And again, that may be why open your heart is here. This is a very generous type energy, though. You know, compassion. And listen, sometimes I'm compassionate with the wrong person. Right? I'm too generous with the wrong person. So this is understanding that, learning it, right? But it doesn't mean get rid of your compassion. It probably means get rid of the person. Or, you know. This is definitely asking you, are you able to receive as well as you're able to give? Or do you give, or how do I say this? Do you give more than you receive, or do you receive more than you give? I often associate this with the master number 33. Funny, 2 and 1 is a 3. Okay. With the 5 of Wands. Coming above. Well, there's that 3 of Pentacles. Again. Page of Swords. Interesting because, you know, when I see a sign, I say it all the time. Some of you are probably bored that I keep saying it. But I just want you to know that. When, you know, at least at my table, when I see a sign, you know, yes, I do say, like, it could be, you know, an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. But then that's as far as I go. Then I start thinking about, you know, what does this king stand for? You know, honesty and truth, communication. And then you have the Page down here. Interesting. Because I feel like this Five of Wands is talking about someone else. Because next to it is the Three of Pentacles with the Two of Cups, or spiritual union, underneath it. So I feel like it's the soulmate and other people, but mainly the soulmate who can see your unique soul, and vice versa. And not everyone can. Almost like I'm admiring you from afar. Maybe they're taking care of their own business right now. You know what I mean? Like, they need to get to the Nine of Cups. But it doesn't mean, like, you know, maybe I'm part of your Facebook or something like that. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Sun. To me, that's great news. First of all, it's a card of Leo, ruler of Leo. But the Sun means that this love that's about to begins with complete illumination. This is also the energy of your inner child. You know, having fun, joy. We have the Four of Wands. Interesting. I don't know why I put the page here. Alright, with the Four of Wands. I feel like there's a lot of signs out there that are connecting with other signs. Two Swords, I don't love that. But I feel like, you know, if I simply look at what's mirroring it, which is the Five of Wands, it tells me why this is here. This can be blocking an opportunity, right? Because again, something I don't want to face. It could be of self. It could be thoughts that other people put there. And you got to learn to decipher them, right? What's my own and what's from so-and-so, right? That'll fight me to the death before they say, I'm sorry. Hello, Ace of Cups. Right under the soulmates, right under spiritual union. Two Aces of Cups. Man, are you guys mirroring each other or what? There's that Four of Swords again. This Four of Swords wants you to heal whatever this blindfold is, right? And again, if you've been dealing with energy where like someone is aggressive, someone won't back down, then you've got to back down, right? And I don't mean back down. You know, you had the energy of stand your ground, but then you also have to know like what's worth fighting for. Because I feel like this energy is not worth fighting for. But yet, it kind of has me tied up in knots. However, here's all these Aces of Cups directly connected to your soulmate. Four of Wands, healing. And then look at this. The Two of Wands follows. And then it begins. This gives you a clue of how it's going to feel. It's going to feel passionate, right? We do have the Sun. So it's going to be playful. You know, or let's put it another way. I feel like it gives you butterflies. Each other has butterflies. Tells you it's going to be passionate. Almost like I can't get my hands off of you. Tells you it's part of your true desire. Listen, sometimes things work with people and sometimes they don't. And I'm looking at the Five of Wands, and I'm looking at, because I'm remembering justice also, right? There's something that needs to be cut, right? It's not serving me in the Five of Wands. Like, yes, stand your ground, but also know when enough is enough. You know when you're dealing with someone who is just so much in their ego that you're not going to change that, and I feel like, don't bother, because it ties you up in knots, right? But this is not that. This is not that. Healing. And then it begins. What? Ace of Cups. With who? A soulmate. Really, Sandy? Well, it's here twice. Love begins. The sun tells you there's nothing to fear. There's going to be complete illumination. And that you can trust in, right? Just allow. I feel like the more you can just allow yourself to feel free, and almost like, what I feel like really what it's saying is, the more that I allow myself to live in the present moment, like enjoy every moment. Like, don't, like, yes, I wanted to go to the Ten of Cups, but the journey, I feel like, is, just feels, yummy. Yummy. Okay. I feel like I don't know why. Like, I feel like all of our answers are here. But I just want to take one more shuffle. King of Wands. King of Wands is kind of knocking this king out. Like, maybe I'm taking your place. This can be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Doesn't have to be. This is someone who is action-oriented. Someone who moves according to their desires, their passions. Sometimes it can bite them, right? But I feel like as I mature, or as I grow, that part of me, not the passionate part of me, but that, like, the taming, I've learned to tame myself. Okay, I feel like I can't stop there now. Because for some reason, I feel like one king is knocking the other king out. Am I reading that right? Now, don't worry about the signs again, because you might be like, oh, it's knocking me out. No, don't worry about the signs. Interesting, how they all came in reverse. Hello, Ten of Swords. I can tell you one thing. I love seeing this, because the Ten of Swords, this way, is dagger after dagger after dagger after dagger in your back. Here, those daggers are falling out. They hold no power. Upright, I feel like it's a repeat pattern, and I have to look at that. But then as soon as I do, those swords fall out. And what's it coming over? The Ace of Cups. Love begins. Someone is losing their power that they once had. We have the Hermit in reverse. Card of Virgo. And then, interesting, we have the Devil in reverse. Card of Capricorn. Excuse me. It's funny, because I feel like this Hermit is connected to this Five of Wands, but yet in reverse. And, I hope I'm not insulting, and I don't mean you, but I feel like someone else, because I feel like someone else I just want to say, I don't feel like they're very wise. Almost like, I don't feel like, I feel like you're an old soul and they're not. However, I feel like because the Hermit with his beacon is actually illuminating the spiritual union, this person is almost like a wise old soul. But it may be both of you. You know, the Devil in reverse could certainly talk about Capricorn, right? Maybe that's someone who this king was knocking out. But I feel like this also talks about, first of all, the Devil can talk about temptations, lower type energy that tempts you to it. However, the Sun, not going to let that happen. Or if it tries, you're going to have complete illumination. That's why you don't want to have a blindfold on. I'm looking at my deck thinking, why are all these reversals coming out? Okay. Alright, wait, I think I'm picking up an extra card. We have the Moon. Card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. We have the Magician. Beautiful. I feel like this is you just recognizing your own power again. You know, the Magician is the Fool's teacher. And the Magician teaches the Fool that, you know, you're about to begin on this new journey. And what I want you to remember is you have all the tools that you need already within you. You don't need to seek outwardly. Seek inwardly. The Magician is definitely the manifester. Well, he's coming over the Ace of Cups. He, she. And then, hello, Wheel. Destiny. You know, I can't tell you this is going to happen for sure because there is free will, right? Because these eights, if they're not looked at, or these blindfolds, if they're not taken off, or these patterns, if they're not ended, you know, you may have more of the same and more of the same and more of the same. I do feel like this is saying that sometimes you got to take a chance. You got to take a chance on you, right? No, like, I feel like these swords are just coming right out of you. And this Hermit is definitely illuminating not only the Two of Cups, but the Magician, which is also over the Ace of Cups. Destiny. That means all of it is destiny. Listen, someone could certainly have been a karmic partner, right? But I got to let that go. I got to let that end. I've got to learn that lesson. That's what karma is about. It's a lesson. And when I learn it for good. I learn it for eternity. My soul is good. Wow. Alright, I definitely feel like it's interesting because inner child. I nurture the child within me through playfulness and self-care. Boundaries. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations, but also be clear with yourself. I feel like, you know, but in the same breath, like, don't hold on too tightly of how things have to be, because I feel like this is talking about moment by moment by moment. All right, we're going to read Open Your Heart, though. Almost right to it. It's funny, Mother. I saw Mother. Well, there it is. Mother's right before that. Optimism right after it. Some of you may be picking up on what's Father, and maybe it's a mother. Or maybe it's even a mother's reaction to what the Father was doing. I don't know. This is a card with a very special message for you. Spend less time thinking and analyzing, and more time feeling and experiencing. Mother Mary asks you to open your heart more. She realizes you may have some fears about being emotionally hurt, and she offers to comfort, support, and guide you. Of all the components of your spiritual path, opening yourself up to experiencing love is the most essential. Make the conscious choice to risk being hurt and drop your emotional defenses. Well, different spread, 8 of Cups in reverse. Be vulnerable and real, and allow others to get to know the true you. Mother Mary and Archangel Michael act as your shield so that you can be both open and protected. So I don't need to build these walls because I'm already protected. I don't need to believe false thoughts. I'm starting to know better. I feel like opening your heart is opening your world. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Interesting reading, Aquarius. They're always interesting, but it's funny because I'm thinking I don't want to do another love title, but holy cow. Holy cow. Alright, I love you guys. I thank you for every way that you support this channel. So much gratitude. I couldn't do it without you. I mean, I could do my own self-business, but I don't know. I love you. So I thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.